questions for Archie?
What was it about Coach Eckler and this place that drew you here?
Well, he said it pretty early on that there's going to be a great system I'm not going to get forced into doing anything I'm not comfortable with, and it really fitted my skill set. And, I mean, overall, it's the coach and the people in the program that make the program what it is, so that just told me this was the place to be.
Can you describe a little bit about that process? Coach Eck said that he had his eye on you for a while at Pro Kick. How does that work in Australia? Do you know where you're being matched before the end, and just like what was that process like for you to then end up matched here?
Yeah. To be honest, if I'm at Pro Kick practicing, you really don't know where you're going until you know the school. And there's a couple cases where some people would have a school and then it would fall through, but Coach Eckler, to my belief, is the only coach who would see me kick, and I think that Pro Kick knew that his coaching and his style was the right skill set for me, and then they kind of worked it out a fair bit behind my back, and then Coach John Smith just came up to me one morning and was like, "Hey Archie, you're going to Nebraska?" And I was like, "Cool."
Did he see you? He come there to Melbourne?
No. So he'd seen videos, and then there was like a live FaceTime. So he'd seen me kick live, so I couldn't just show him my highlights. He saw live where there was the chance of stuff up. So it wasn't a fluke.
What did you know about the state of Nebraska at all before you came here?
Well, I got really into like the college football side of things, the country, because I was like, I knew I was going to be coming here, so I actually had a fair grasp. I didn't know the ins and outs of the state, but I knew Lincoln, I knew the stadium, I knew the program. So, yeah, I wasn't completely oblivious to where I was going to be living for the next 4 years.
How many other kickers do you know that can kick with both feet? How common is that? What goes into that for you?
Well, in Australia, like playing Australian rules, it is a skill that can be useful if you're running away from someone. It's good to be able to kick it on both feet, and not everyone. Some people, I'd say, give it a crack and have it as maybe a skill to be able to use, but not like as a weapon, and then some people really ignore it. So, it's not uncommon to see someone who can use both feet, but to use it at the level that's kind of needed to be used in the college football system, it's not too common.
When did you know that could be a skill of yours that you wanted to develop?
Well, growing up, I'd always practiced it, using my right foot to make sure I had it just in case. And then 3 or so years ago, I had just an ankle injury on my left foot, nothing major. Don't get concerned. And I was like, I can run, I can jump, but I can't kick on my left foot for a couple of weeks. So I was like, okay, I can kick on my right. And then I already had a good base set up, and I was like, may as well use this chance to really develop it and make it something that's actually a standout, not just something I can get by with. And then at Pro Kick one day, a coach just randomly said to me, "Hey, Archie, can you do a kick on your right foot?" And I was thinking, what's the point of that? As long as the ball goes far and high, does it matter? And then I kind of learned the ins and outs as to why it can be useful, and I nailed the two that he asked to see, and that made a good impression, and then been practicing it ever since and using it in the system.
How closely did you watch Tory Taylor at Iowa and what he's doing now? And you came from the same is it a high school or private school?
Look, I didn't really look just specifically at Tory Taylor. There's a lot of Australian punters that are over there. I could name multiple from the same school as me. I didn't really have just one person who I wanted to be like. I was kind of like, this is my journey. I see a lot of other people doing a similar thing, but I want to create my own path and do it for myself. And then, Tory Taylor, like seeing him at Iowa and succeeding heaps, it's kind of like, it's a goal that you kind of want to reach a level like him, but it's not like I wanted to be Tory Taylor.
Did you ever have anybody from Pro Kick like Tory or Brett Thorson who were in college ahead of you and talk to them at all? Get the lay of the land of what to expect or anything like that?
Not necessarily those guys. I had a friend who was at high school more recently who actually now punts at Rutgers, and he was someone who was really helpful because he was sort of getting ready to leave as I showed up, and he was someone, his name's Jacob, he was someone who was really helpful getting me comfortable as I was starting out. Because, like, I already knew, like, I was pretty good at the thing, but it was always find that next level of being comfortable and knowing where to be and just not overthinking. And he's been really good. And even throughout getting ready to come over here, there has been plenty of people who have been great for advice, but he would be the main one.
Archie, what are you anticipating?
Were you able to learn every single name on the team already? That was one thing, Coach. And then did you really get up and sing Piano Man from the entire team at like a skit or talent show?
Yes, I did. Learning every name. I mean, I kind of sometimes think of myself as just a normal person on the team, but a lot of people, I'm assuming, just because I have a slightly different voice, kind of sometimes cop and say like, "Hey, mate," or something like that. And I've had a lot of interactions with everyone, but I mean, everyone on the team is super nice, welcoming. They want the best, and no one's like neglecting Caleb and seeing you because they know there's no point not knowing your teammates, and then eventually over time you just learn the names, and it's really good to walk past someone and be like, I know who that is, and I'm not confused when I walk past any people now, which is good. And the piano man thing, all the freshmen during the team meetings have had to go up and sing a song, but there's no lyrics and there's no singing in the background, so it's just the instrumental, and I went up and smashed it, I'm not going to lie. Right now, I don't know about that. Maybe in the future.
As you arrive at
Coach
piano
said that
man,
you are like his favorite player to watch at practice now. He never really cared for special teams before, but he loves watching you. What does that mean to hear that from your head coach?
Yeah, it's awesome. It makes me feel so much more comfortable at training and practice, and not knowing like, oh gee, I'm on edge here. I want to make sure like I do something and Coach Rule sees it. But it's been good, like getting to know Coach Rule. My first week here, like I started to see him around, like, oh, that's the head coach, that's great. And then I've progressed, and now I think I have a really good relationship with him. And it's good to hear something like that, and it just makes you feel more like I don't have to necessarily try and prove who I am as a person. I can just keep doing what I'm doing and keep getting better, and not try to do anything fancy just so I can get his attention.
Archie, what are you anticipating in terms of just how that first football game is going to go for you, given the setting and given your background?
I'm really excited. I don't normally get too nervous when it comes to things. I mean, this is a whole different level, but I'm more excited. I mean, the huge crowd, Arrowhead, Thursday night. It doesn't get much bigger, and I'm excited to go out there. I mean, ideally, I don't have to punt much if our offense is doing well. But if they do need me to come on the field, I'm really excited to go out there and kick some.
what's your experience been so far with South Stadium at Memorial? What they've told you about kind of some of those swirling winds as well?
Yeah, over the summer it was massive going into the stadium. I think probably 4 times a week with Coach Ma, Brett, just getting in extra work and practicing as much as we can in the stadium and getting used to it. Look, it swells a bit, and I mean, obviously sometimes you've got to adjust to that if you're going into it, but when it's behind you, yeah, it can be very fun. It can help out a lot, but I mean, I'm not changing my kick too much against the wind, and Coach Ma always says to me, like, don't let the wind beat your best ball. Like, I'm still kicking my ball, and if the wind wants to try and affect it, it can try, but I got to kick it as if there's nothing there.
How much has he impacted your ability to adjust to him, being he played at this stadium and then of course in the NFL too?
He's been awesome. I mean, I wasn't even too sure on if there was Brett before I came. I kind of, when I first landed here, he took me and my family out to dinner, which was lovely, and was like, okay, is this guy like a full-time coach, or is he just an ex-player? And then he's been there every day since, and he's been huge. Like, he obviously played here, he's a big part of the mental game. Like, we've run through process of like, when I'm going out to my spot, like, what am I thinking? What am I focusing on? And it's good to have someone who's just played at the highest level and has dealt with these situations to make you feel more comfortable, and with necessarily my technique stuff as well. He's been huge at just finding the little things to get better at.
Coach Eck and Coach Rule mentioned your family and how close you are to them. You're living all the way across the world from them. Are you 18, 19, or how old are you?
I turn 19 tomorrow. So I'm 18 right now. So
what's it like being first time you're away from them?
Yeah, that part's hard. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I love them a lot. Yeah, I got two little brothers and my mum and dad, and yeah, that's the tough part about being here. I love them a lot and I miss them, but it's I mean, they know this is what's best for me, and it's good. I can still talk to them plenty over the phone, and they're coming here to see the first few games, so I'm looking forward to that. Cool. Thanks, guys. Great meeting you all.
Thank you.